All right, I'm here with Steven So Cold Nelson, undefeated super
Cold,
middleweight
baby.
or light heavyweight, depends on what day of the week. He's on the super card
Yeah,
of his
I'm
good
super.
friend
I'm
Bud
super
Crawford.
middleweight right now.
You what?
Super middleweight right now.
Super middleweight. All right. He's on the big card with his good friend Bud Crawford against Errol Spence, June 29th, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. Doesn't get any bigger than this. How you doing, So Cold?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's been a great day. We had our morning strength and conditioning today. Now we had breakfast and we just resting now until the next workout.
Yeah, man. How's that Vegas heat for a guy who's nicknamed So Cold?
Oh, it's hot, but I love it. I'm just enjoying it. I enjoy all weather, cold, hot. And for this time, it was 120 the first day we came, a record high, 120 degrees. But we've been inside. Go outside briefly to get to the car, and that's it.
That's the
Uh,
beauty of air conditioning, right?
yeah, right. You got some good air conditioners here in Vegas, because man, it's hot outside.
Well, what's it like in Omaha right now?
It's hot in almost. It's hot in Omaha too, but not like Vegas, not 120. It's probably in like the 80s, 90s.
Right, right.
Let me see. Let me look it up. I want to look up and see where we're at right
We're
now.
going to do some live weather reporting here before we get into the big
Yeah, it's
fight.
a high of 83 today in Omaha. So, it's good. That's good heat. Like that's good. Like that's perfect to me. In the 80s, 70s to 80s is perfect.
That's San Diego weather, man. You can't beat
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. That's whether you can be outside, you can grill, you can be at the park, you can go, hang out outside, walk around. This 120, you ain't outside for too long.
Right, right. Hey, man, before we get into the fights, though, man, you're a man of many interests. And the last time we talked, you had all these projects going on and different little pop-up game stuff you were doing, and you work on anything and everything. What's in the works right now, or is it just boxing?
Right now it's boxing, and I made my uniform. I'm actually going to the embroidery shop today to get some of the patches on it that I need for sponsors and stuff. So I'm doing that today, but the uniform is finished.
You ready, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be a dope walkout, man. People gotta stay tuned to see what it is. It's like a surprise to fans. Again, 'cause every fight I come out as, different characters, different creative characters. And, I'm entertainment from the time I walk out to, the time I walk back out the ring, with a victory. So
Yeah, man, 18 and 0, 15 knockouts, have had a rough last couple of years, but again, fighting on the biggest card in boxing. You're fighting a guy, Montgomery. What is he,
yeah,
like the third opponent or what?
yeah, his third opponent. I had to pull out for different reasons. Um, and it's the name of the game though. So, hopefully this one stick and we can make it to the ring. Be my dance partner.
What do you know about him? What's his story?
I don't know his story. I've seen a couple of his fights. That's about it. I don't. He's a good last minute opponent. He's tough. He take fights. He take any fight, and he give you he give he give good fights. So a good opponent. I feel like the guy I had before. I really wanted to fight those guys, but like I said, things happen. So you go with what you can get.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the guy was undefeated. He had 11 knockouts out of 12 wins. So, getting that on my record would be that's a great win right there.
No doubt, no doubt. So cold, man. What's it been like being on the Bud tour? For the biggest fight in boxing. I saw you. I watched the interview with the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne the God, and you were sitting there behind Bud, and every so often they would say something, and it got a reaction out of you, like when Charlemagne said he was picking Spence. What was it like being there, just in that setting, and just overall, being with Bud throughout?
You know, it's cool, you know what I mean? Because man, that's my guy, you know. So Bud, like we always say, he swing, I swing. So me to have his back and be there for, for the whole ride is cool. You know, some people, they always got something to say and oh, you always with Bud and you fall. I'm like, man, that's my boy. Like that's like we real life friends. We not just boxing teammates. You know what I mean? Like we date all the way back before I even boxed, before I start boxing. So, to be part of this journey is great and to be part of my journey. So it's like it's two different roles that are parallel, but we got our own goals and we got our own thing going on. So to have his journey part of my journey, um, is super dope. Something I can share with my descendants and my kids in years to come and other family members and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize, or maybe they do, that you two grew up together. You guys
Exactly.
were childhood buddies.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I'm just around because I'm a boxer and we boxing. Like, nah, like I've been on Bud before the world knew Bud. You know what I mean? When we were both just two bad kids running around North Omaha causing problems. So
How, how,
and
how that
see where we
there's
grew from.
go ahead, so cool.
To see where we came from. Like we came from nothing. Like both of us, we came from, y'all ain't gonna be nothing. Like people said I was gifted growing up. I was smart, but I ain't gonna be nothing because of the people I chose to be around. Not even chose. Like if you around the community, like your friends and people you go to school with, you end up gravitating towards those people. So people that are around me, were in the streets and getting in trouble in school and all that. So that's why I end up being around.
Yeah, and I've talked to Bud a bunch of times over the years here in Dallas and so forth, and he just seems to live with that constant chip on his shoulder, always looking
Yeah.
to prove people wrong, always looking to show the world what he's all about. Was he like that as a kid? Has he always been like this?
Yeah, because it's like you said, it's so many people that doubt you, so many people that overlook you. You always got to constantly prove yourself. Like, so they be like underdog and anything. It's no problem being that because we've always been that. Especially even like nationally and worldwide. Like, nobody's going to Omaha looking for talent. Nobody's expecting it. Black people to even be in Nebraska. So it's like, so we hear that our whole life. It makes you work harder. We always had to work hard. We had to dig out of a hole and then trying to build on top of that as well. When a lot of people have a foundation already, we didn't have a foundation. We had to build that foundation ourselves after being in a hole.
Didn't remind me, because it's been a while, but did Bud recruit you to start boxing, or how did the whole you guys get into the
No, I was
boxing?
just I was in the army already. I had moved away from the army because that was my change in life. I didn't have anything to get me away from the bad area and the bad people I were with. So I said, you know what, my last resort to get some type of foundation and structure was going to the military. I went to the military. Then when I went to my unit and everything, and I got deployed, I ended up being deployed, and I was in the army for about 3 years. When I came back from deployment, that's when I started boxing. I just decided I was like, you know what? Like I always been a fighter. I always like love, wanted to see what it would be like to be a boxer. And I didn't plan on doing it seriously. Just something to keep me in shape and to have fun doing. And I chose boxing. And the first person I called when I really like started getting into boxing, I realized like, okay, this is something I can do. was Bud. I let Bud, hey, I'm boxing now, man. I wanna spar with you. He's like, all right, when you come home next time, we gonna see where you at. And I went home. I went home to visit, and he sparred me the first day I got home. Yeah, I'm thinking just like everybody else. Oh, he's small. Like I'm big. I'm beating up these dudes in North Carolina, but ain't gonna be a problem. I get in there, I was in a rude awakening. I was like, oh wait, yeah, this is a whole different ballpark. But it ignited a fire in me. It made me go back and be like, you know what? If I want to do this, I need to get to where he's at. I need to get to that level. That type of speed, that type of power, that type of movement. And I went home and I worked on all that. And the next time I came back, I was a whole totally different fighter. And he was like, yeah, man, this is you. You got to keep going, man. Because for you to only be doing it for a year, you made a major improvement from the last time we sparred. And from that day on, I started being one of his main sparring partners. A lot of people his size couldn't take the power and take the box IQ he had, but been me and my side, and being able to move like I move and had the speed I have, it was perfect for me to be one of his like main sparring partners, and we became not only friends, now we're teammates now.
Right, right. It's much deeper. It seems like much deeper. Um, so what has this camp been like? Because even with Spence and Bud, two guys have been doing it at the highest level for so long. In a lot of ways, they say it's business as usual, right? I've heard Bud say a bunch of times, if it's not broke, why fix it? But it's got to be a little bit different just because it
Yeah,
is the biggest
yeah,
fight of their lives.
exactly. This is the two differences that I've seen. One is the excitement for what's to come in Bud and what he's fighting for is like, man, this is like history making. Not just winning the title, not just defending the title or any of that. Like this is the first person to be undisputed. He's had a possibility to be the first person to be undisputed in two weight classes. So that's history on top of that. And then being the first undisputed 147-pounder of this era. So it's like it's so many things. And then all the doubters, all the people that say, oh, Bud is too small and Errol is going to do this. And Errol has 3 titles. He only has 1. All the talk we've been hearing for years, this is the time. So that's one change I've seen in the camp. And then the perfection of not having room for mistakes. Other camp, like I said, we do the same training. We do the same thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But now we don't allow Bud to get away with the mistakes that was okay in other camps. Bud's the favorite, or this fight is not as exciting as this fight. Right now, he's been working on perfecting everything.
Nothing.
So people say Bud was fast and he had a good timing and good ring IQ and switch hitter and all the things they championed him before with. Now we want to see a polished version of all that.
Wow. Can you sense any extra pressure on his shoulders, or he seems like he takes it all in stride?
No, I think this is the most calm and smooth I've seen him in camp. Because it's like what he's fighting for and the confidence he has, like there's no need for pressure. I think it's more pressure when you are the favorite or when you are fighting and you're defending your title, because those guys want to take your title. You have nothing, like they have nothing to lose but everything to gain. Now we got Bud has everything to gain, Spence has everything to gain. So the pressure is like I gotta do my thing. Like there ain't no, you know what I mean? There is nothing that's gonna push him to make him feel like there's too much pressure on him.
And you knowing him as well as anybody, from all these years, outside the ring, inside the ring, um, you don't have to change who you are when you're in camp with him. I mean, but does it? I would assume you're still yourself, but doesn't it even increase your focus and your
Yeah,
perfection?
for sure. Because we train side by side doing the same drills, the same thing. It's like he's training for uh um a unification fight, world title. This is like the biggest fight in the recent boxing history. I'm training on the same level, so it's like I'm training for a world title fight too. When I'm only fighting a 10 rounder for a national title, intercontinental title. So I feel like for me to train this hard, I mean, I'm not worried either. I'm like, I don't have no pressure. I'm like, man, like this is the best shape I'm gonna be in. So if I don't get past this guy, this is not meant for me then.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
It's like shit, get out the pot. Like I'm not, I don't have no pressure because I'm like, I know I don't have nothing to worry about. 'Cause I know I'm the best version of me for this fight.
Let me ask you something. And I'm here with Steven So Cold Nelson, one of Bud Crawford's best friends, fighting on the big mega fight June 20 or July 29th at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. I once asked Spence, this is about 5 years ago now, if him and Bud were cut from the same cloth. And at that time, he said, well, I don't know. I don't really know him like that. But the way they got the deal done, the way they got on the phone together, the way they kind of have that almost like they don't just say stuff to say it, they say stuff when they're asked, right? Kind of that quiet confidence. Do you see a similarity, even though obviously you're there with your guy, but do you see their personality?
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Spence, for him to be mature enough to get on the phone with Bud and have his number and they talk through the negotiation and getting this fight made for the people. That's like I commend them. I feel like in that sense they are. They fight for their family. They're family guys. They're stand up guys. They're not out slandering each other's name in a way that they really don't believe that the other person is. You know what I mean? Like Spence say things like, Bud haven't fought anybody. That's his opinion. You
Sure.
know, but he's not slandering them. He's not like, oh, Bud suck. He's trash. Like he's nobody. Like he respect Bud. Like Bud's really a champion. He good. I just feel like he haven't fought the same opposition I have. Okay, I mean, that's his opinion. That's
Right.
fine to have, but he's respectful with it. So, like I commend him for that. I commend him for that. He a good guy. I see him, I give him the head nod. What's up, man? Because I was on the Olympic team with him. I was one of the Olympic training partners in 2012. I was in the amateurs with him. I know him. So I say I don't have no problem with Spence. I don't, turn my nose up at him or, mug when I see him. Hey, what's up, man? Like simple as that.
Yeah. And even when they see each other, even they might jab each other, they're still respect.
Yeah. That old video years ago when it was at a boxing match and it was in the back and he was going back and forth. It was all fun and games. It wasn't like no disrespect. It wasn't, any low blows. It was just like, man, let's make the fight happen. I'm gonna stop you when we fight. What I mean, save my number.
Right.
They really exchanged numbers. People think it was just for talk. They really exchanged numbers. So like
Yeah.
I said, the fight is here. Everything is great, man. It's gonna be a great night, man, for boxing, man. In all, no matter what the decision is or what happens in the fight is great for boxing.
Yeah.
This
You
type
know,
of
you
stuff.
go ahead.
Cause I have a lot of people I know, a lot of friends, family that were giving up on boxing. They're like, you know what, man? I'm tired of boxing, man. If you ain't fighting, Bud ain't fighting, I ain't watching boxing no more. But this year, 2023, is the year that all the big fights we notice have been made. This is the year that's bringing back boxing alive. 2023 is the rebirth of boxing.
No doubt. Let me ask you one more question on Spence and Bud, because I don't think a lot of people realize or remember you were on that team with Spence and have that history with them. So again, you're the one person who, has that kind of tie. What have you seen in Spence since those days, just Olympic training, et cetera, to where he is today? Because a lot of times you hear people say, well, I haven't seen any improvement, but what he does, it sure works,
Yeah,
but
I've seen him grow. I've seen him grow from the amateurs to now. I feel like his style is the same, but I feel like he has got stronger and bigger and got more ring IQ. That comes with the game. That comes with professional boxing. And seeing him fight the guys he fought and dismantle them. I said, like, I had nothing against Spence. He's a great champion. Just me personally, it's not because I'm friends with Bud. I have a lot of friends in boxing where I just be honest, like, that's gonna be a good fight, or that's not a good fight for him. But I just feel like Bud is the better fighter. I've seen Bud is a better champion. And all around, just like the things people are using as keys to victory for Spence, they don't know it's not a factor against Bud. Like, their biggest thing is always the size difference. That's the only key to victory they have. I'm like, that's not enough. That's not enough for somebody like Bud. Bud been there with big guys, big strong guys. He sparred with big guys. He sparred with smart guys, fast guys. All that. So I'm like, that's not a key to victory. You gotta give me something. Like, for me to understand, for me to be like, okay, yeah, this is a 50-50. Like, this is go either way. You gotta give me something that makes sense. Something that's gonna be like, all right, okay, well, if Bud don't pay attention to this, he's gonna lose the fight. But they're not giving me nothing. They're not giving me nothing that is making me lean towards Spence unbiasedly, like, without knowing Bud and training with Bud. Like, give me something, then I all right.
fair enough.
If he was faster than Bud, or if he had better footwork than Bud, I'm like, all right, man, we got to use this game plan. But in every part of boxing, I feel like Bud is the better guy.
Got it. So cold, man. You're 35 now. You mentioned shit or get off the pot, right? This is a big fight for you. This is, I'm sure you're chomping at the bit for a world title shot.
Yeah.
Let's look forward a little bit. You get through this guy here in a week or so. When do you think you'll get that chance at super middle or?
I feel like, realistically, the guy to go for to fight in the long run is Canelo in my weight class. But to get there, I have to make some noise to even get that fight. So to get that fight, I need a title eliminator. Simple as that. Like, this fight is for a national and intercontinental title. That's going to get me in the rankings. But to make noise debate, to put me in the mouths of people, boxing fans, say, hey, I would like to see him fight Canelo. I need a title eliminator. So I need to fight somebody who is going for the same thing, and who's looking to fight Canelo, and we need to bang it out.
Yeah. So that's the hope, right? That's the goal.
That's the goal. That's the realistic goal.
But you feel good. I mean, you were a late starter to this boxing game.
Yeah, so yeah, a lot of times people look at age and it's like you're looking at my age compared to other fighters who's been fighting their whole life versus somebody who started at 21, you know. So in the boxing world, I'm 14 years old.
Hmm.
I've been fighting for 14 years. You got people who started when they were 12, 11, and they get about 24, 25. That's when they start, you know, that's when they're in their prime. That's when they get those title shots. That's where I'm at right now. I'm 14, it's 14, 15 years is at prime for boxing. I had about 8 years in the amateurs, and I'm 6 years into the pros. It's about that time.
Right, right. Let me ask you. Let me switch gears real quick. Bomac just started training a guy by the name of Lester Martinez.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Lester. He just fought 2 weeks ago.
yeah, so he's managed by my mentor Richard Steele, who I've been with for 20 years, and I know he's now working with Bomac. Have you worked with Lester at all?
Yeah, we was training. We was sparring partners the whole time in camp until he had to fight.
Okay.
We good work. We are great work for each other. I work on things. He get to work on things. We both have different styles, so it was great. It was great sparring for both of us. Yeah, it was amazing. So that guy's upcoming. He's gonna do good in the pros. He's gonna do great in the pros.
Good. That's good to hear. I know Richard's high on him, and I think you probably were you at Richard's gym as well in North Las Vegas for some of that.
No, I never win. We've been training at the UFC gym.
Okay, okay. I think Bud was maybe there, or at least Bomac was there for a little
Yeah,
bit. Richard has a gym out there, so I was just wondering. But
yeah.
all right.
What's it called?
Richard Steele boxing gym.
I think it was a gym they went to. It's called R something, RWS or RX or something like that. So maybe the same gym. They went to there to spar with one of our other guys, Kevin Ventura.
Okay. Well, Richard, I'm sure you know, he did the fights that everybody's comparing this fight to. He did the Hagler Hearns, the Leonard Hagler. He was a referee for those fights. So
Wow.
he has a different perspective. I'm going to be talking to him about it here shortly. But so he's a Hall of Fame referee that did many of the fights that everybody's hoping we'll see again starting July 29th.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, you didn't know that? You didn't know Richard
I
Steele?
ain't no clue. No, I didn't even know.
Yeah, yeah. You look him up, man. He's a legend.
Yeah, I
Ask
gotta check it out.
Bomac. Ask Bomac.
I
But
definitely check it out.
check him out. You looking him up right now?
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
He did the Chavez Taylor fight that he stopped with 2 seconds left when Taylor was winning. The He did Mayweather Corrales. He did Mayweather Judah. He did a lot of Tyson fights.
Yeah, Steel Boxing Gym.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know Richard Steele. Now I know him by his face. I seen his face. I didn't he was in the Marine Corps too, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. There you
So,
go. With
yep,
Ken
yep.
Norton. He was
Yep.
with Ken Norton.
Okay. Yeah, I know this guy by his face. I just didn't I say I'm bad with names. I mean, I'm bad with names, putting names and faces.
Yeah, so he's working with Lester. So him and
Oh,
another guy manage Lester. So that's why I was curious to. I knew Bomac is working with them now.
yeah, definitely. That's our guy.
Yeah, yeah. He could still throw hands. He was a light heavyweight. He was a pro. He was a light heavyweight, and
Oh, he was like,
he was a
oh yeah.
knockout artist.
I didn't around my weight, man.
Yeah. Next time you see him, man, talk to him about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him when I see him.
But listen, So Cole, I'll be out there in Vegas. I hope to see you, man. Um, good luck. I know it's the biggest fight in Bud's career, but in a lot of ways, it's the biggest fight in your career. And I know you're on a title
Yeah.
hunt. So I love talking to you, man. It's always fun, and good luck.
Yeah, definitely, man. For all the people out there, man, I'm known as the man of many talents, man. From being a comedian to an artist to making my own uniforms to being a mechanic, a carpenter, doing tattoos, barber, flying planes. You know, we're doing. I was a co-pilot for our team to fly out here. We flew private, and I was the co-pilot.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, but you guys want to follow me, man. You guys will be inspired in so many ways. Instagram, Stephen Nelson Boxing. Twitter, So Cold Nelson. Facebook, Stephen So Cold Nelson, man. Give me a follow. You know, follow my career, follow my life, because it's more than just boxing. Um, it's great, man. We doing things for the kids. You know, I'm the executive director of B&B Sports Academy. Got a lot of things coming, man, and we just need the support of the people, man.
Listen, I'm glad you shared all that. That's why I asked you at the top. You know, what else? What do you got going on these days? But I know you got a lot of interest outside the ring, and always fun to talk to you. Follow this guy; he's a fun follow, and good luck in Vegas, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I appreciate you.
All right, brother.